Hi guys, welcome back to the channel this morning. So this morning I'm going to be drafting out a bustier pattern, and this bustier pattern is going to be having a yoke. So if you are interested in learning how to draft this pattern, please keep watching. If you've not subscribed yet to the channel, please subscribe, and if you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you very much for subscribing, and please turn on the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I post a new video. So let's get straight to the pattern drafting. So firstly, what I'm going to be using for this pattern drafting is just my marker, the measurements I'm going to be using, my ruler and my armor curve and my scissors. So these are the things I'm going to be using. So let's get straight to the pattern drafting. So firstly, I'm going to be drafting out my shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement I'm working with is 16. So 16 divided by 2 is going to be giving me 18. Sorry, 16 divided by 2 is going to be giving me 8. So I'm going to be coming down from this point to get my shoulder line. And the shoulder line I'm working with is 8 inches. Now, 8 inches is my shoulder line. The bust point I'm working with is 10. My under bust is 14. And the half length I'm working with is 16. So I'm going to be adding at least 1.5 inch sewing allowance, so that by the time I finish joining everything and every other thing, I can just trim it out to the desired shape I want. So I'm going to be connecting all of this into a straight line. So I'm just going to be repeating my lines here so that I can get a straight line. So I'm connecting all of these lines into a straight line. And I'm also going to connect this chest line to the point I made here, which is 8. So I'm going to be labeling all of these lines. So this is my chest line, this is my bust point, this is my under bust, this is my waistline, and this is my allowance line. So now the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be dividing my nipple to nipple measurement. So the nipple to nipple measurement I'm working with is 8. So 8 divided by 2 is going to give me 4. So I'm going to be taking this same nipple to nipple measurement from this chest line down to the allowance line and turn it into a straight line, which is what I'm just exactly the way I'm doing it. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be getting my neckline. So the neckline I'm working with is 3 inches. Sorry, the neckline I'm working with is 3 inches because I'm going to be using an illusion net. So 3 inches is just okay. So I'm going to be using 3 by 3 for the neckline, and I'm just going to use my armor curve to make my neckline. So this is it. It's not very curvy, so I'm just going to curve it. So this is cancelled. So this is the line I'm going to be using for my neckline. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to get my shoulder slope. The shoulder slope I'm working with is 1 inch. You can do ½ inch, you can do 1 inch, depending on what is convenient for you though. So I'm connecting this into a straight line. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to continue from this leg that we've done. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come from my under bust. I'm going to be taking in 1.25 inch on each side. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want the bustier to be very, very prominent. So that's what I'm having. So I'm just going to repeat this measurement here so I can have a straight line down to my allowance leg. So this is it. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be connecting this line down to my bust point here, and I'm going to be doing the same thing to this other side. So I'm just going to curve your arm more curved the way I'm doing it this way. And you still turn it to the other side and also do it this way. I hope you understand. You just use your arm curve armhole curve to curve out the shape you desire for your bust point, for your bust. So the next thing I'm going to be doing on my shoulder line, I'm going to be going up by 1 inch because my client does not want her cleavage to be showing. So I'm just going to connect this 1 inch down to my shoulder line. So this is just going to help with covering the cleavage. You can do as much as 1 inch, 1.5 or 2 inches. It depends on your client and what is convenient for you. So on this leg, I'm just going to be taking in 1 inch on this side, 1 inch on this side, and I'm going to be connecting it to my bust point. So this is it for your bustier pattern. So the next thing I'm just going to be doing, I'm working with a sweetheart neck. Now this dress is not going to be having a deep sweetheart neck. She does not want her cleavage to show. So I'm just going to be coming down from my chest line. I'm going to be coming down by 7.5 inch because I don't want her cleavage to show at all. So but she wants the deep neck illusion. So I'm just going to be coming down by 7.5 and connect it to a straight line. Then I'm going to be connecting this down to my so this is it. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be working on my shoulder, my armhole. So I'm going to be dividing my armhole divided by 2, which is going to be giving me 4 inches. I'm going to be coming in by half of an inch to get rid of any bulge, and I'm going to be connecting it into an armhole shape. So I'm just going to do that here. So this is it with the front pattern. So this is the yoke, this is the yoke, and so we are going to be cutting this out. So I'm going to cut this out before I make my measure, before I take the measurements. So with this now, I'm just going to be inserting all of my measurements. So to insert the measurement, I'm just going to use my scissors to hold down this pattern. So for the waist measurement, I'm working with 30 inches waist measurement. So 30 divided by 4 is 7.5. I'm going to be adding 1 inch. I'm going to be adding allowance of 2 inches allowance. 2 inches allowance. So I'm going to be having 9.5 here. So for my bust measurement, the bust measurement I'm working with is 40. So 40 divided by 4 is 10 plus 2 inches sewing allowance, which is 12. I'm just going to be connecting this straight line down. So and I'm going to cut this out. So now this is for the front. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut out for the back. So now let's go straight to the back pattern. So for the back pattern, we're still going to be repeating everything we did in the front for the back pattern. So my shoulder line, which was 8, I'm going to be taking it. My shoulder line 8, my bust point 10. I don't need my under bust, I don't need any other thing. I'm just going to go straight to 17 and a half. You know, the half length I was working with was 16, so I added 1.5 inch for sewing allowance, which gave me 17 and a half. So I'm just going to be connecting all of this into a straight line. So now the back I'm working with is going to be having a back loop. It's more like a back loop. So this is still my chest line. This is my bust point, which I don't need to, by the way. So, and this is my allowance. So the neckline I worked with for the front was 3. I'm going to also be working with that same 3 here. So now the nipple to nipple I worked with was 4. So here also I'll also be working with 4. I'm just going to be creating my that leg now. I'm just connecting this into a straight line. I'm going to be taking in 1 inch on this side, 1 inch on this side, and I'm just going to be connecting it down to anyway, it's not compulsory you do 1. You can do as low as 0.5 and as high as 1. So for your back, so this is my dart leg. I'm going to be cutting this out. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is the loop I'm working with is 2 inches. So I'm going to be working with 2 inch. No problem, let me do 1.5. I'm going to be working with 1.5 loop. So I'm going to be cutting this out. I'm going to be cutting 1.5. The reason why I reduced it from 2 was because I noticed that my dart leg was too close to the loop, was too close to the dart, so that was why. Although I'm going to be closing the dart, so it's not going to be showing on the so this is it. So now I'm just going to be connecting this loop to the neckline here. So I don't need any neck for the front. So all of this I'm just going to cut out. So this is my yoke, and I'm just going to make my armhole curve for the back also. So I'm just going to make my shoulder slope also, which I'm going to be cutting out. So this is it. So this is for the loop. So I'm just going to be making these dots, so I'll know that this is for my loop and this is for my yoke, and I'm just going to be cutting this out. So my waist measurement is 7.5. So minus, okay, let's do this way, 7.5. This is 7.5. My bust measurement is 10. This is 10. So because the parts of the paper I'm using is not that long, so I'm just going to be adding my sewing allowance on my fabric. So please, I hope this tutorial is self-explanatory, because I noticed there's so many lines on it and it's looking a bit rough, but I hope you understand. So if you have any questions, you can just ask in the comment section, and I'm going to be there to reply. So this is the yoke. So this yoke is also going to come in Skin Illusion net. So because I do not want the clothes to be having the dart, so I'm just going to be covering it up this way. I don't have a stapler here, but this is how I'm just going to be placing it on the fabric. I'm going to be showing you when I'm placing it, and I'm not going to be cutting out this yet so that I can remember when cutting it out on the fabric. So I'm just going to indicate 1.5 here so that we know. So this is it for the pattern drafting. So the next video that is going to be coming up is going to be on how to cut it and how to make the dress. So thank you guys for watching. Please, if this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up, like, share, comment, and please turn on your notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. So thank you guys for watching. Bye. See you in my next video.